How's it going, everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we are taking a look at the Sequre's SQ-001 17 to 65 watt mini portable soldering iron. Now the colors available are either in blue, which I have here today, or in black. Now the tips available to choose at the time of order are the TSD24, which I have here, the TSB2, or the TSK. It includes the SQ-001 controller, the soldering tip of choice, the DC5525 to XT60 power cable, a mini Bakelite stand with sponge, a bag of goodies containing an Allen wrench and some extra screws, the user manual, and the safety guide, and they will all come in this box. Now if you want to take a look at the user manual, go to securemall.com and take a look online there, or you can even download the PDF file. Link down below. So taking a closer look at the controller, we have the soldering tip port, we have hex screws to secure the tip, we have buttons A and button B, we have the OLED display screen, and we have the micro USB port for firmware updates and the DC5525 port. Now here's the soldering tip, and this is the TSD24 soldering tip. Now these soldering tips for the SQ-001 are compatible to the TS100 soldering iron as well, so they are interchangeable. So to get started with the soldering iron, simply insert the solder tip and tighten up the screws using the Allen wrench that is provided. Now if it is not inserted correctly, it will give you an error message, so insert it all the way in flush with the controller before tightening up the screws. Now the controller is meant to be held like a pen with the LCD display facing up, and it is very comfortable in the hand. So depending on which tip you get, you can adjust the tip and rotate it to maximize the surface area while holding it in this manner. So power it up using the provided XT60 to DC5525 cable with batteries that you may already have from 3 to 6S. Now I've been using some of the older non-flyable 4S batteries, and the soldering iron works really good. Now the default temperature will reach 300 degrees Celsius or 572 degrees Fahrenheit in about 40 seconds if a 3S battery is used, and it provides 17 watts of power. So 20 seconds for a 4S battery and 30 watts of power, 15 seconds for a 5S and 40 watts of power, and 10 seconds for a 6S battery and 65 watts of power. So if you are in a hurry, by all means use a 6S battery. All right, so let's see how fast it heats up using a 4S battery. So once powered up, it'll tell you to press the A button. So press the A button and it will start heating up. The up arrow indicates heating up, and you should be able to see some smoke rising here pretty soon. And there's some smoke. And 300 degrees. That was pretty fast. Now once it reaches the 300 degrees, it will show a wave instead of the up arrow, indicating it has reached and stabilized at that temperature. So now you are able to melt solder right away. Now that's pretty fast. So the default temperature is 300 degrees Celsius, and that is probably good enough for most jobs, but by long pressing the B button, you now can adjust the temperature either up or down by 10-degree increments. So short pressing the A button will decrease the temperature, and short pressing the B button will increase the temperature. And long pressing it will continue to rise by 10 degrees, and the highest temperature is 400 degrees Celsius, which is 752 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, once it is set to the desired temperature, it will start to heat up and stabilize at that temperature. Long pressing the B button once again to decrease the temperature, and long pressing the A button to decrease faster. And the coolest temperature is 100 degrees Celsius, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And once the desired temperature is set, it will start to cool down and stabilize at that temperature. Now, it will enter the sleep mode when the temperature remains constant for 3 minutes or 180 seconds, and the temperature will start to adjust to 200 degrees Celsius. Now, if another 6 minutes pass and nothing happens, it will go into the standby mode, and when picked back up, it will reawaken and ask for the A button to be pressed to heat back up. The default values can be changed by connecting it to a computer via the micro USB port. Now, the display will show config, and you can open the config text file to get to the values and change them. Now, to update the firmware, download the latest SQ-001 firmware from SecureMall.com. I'll post a direct link to the updated hex file down below. Because they now have updated the firmware as of August 13, 2020, and there is a version 2.20, which allows the iron to heat up to 450 degrees Celsius, and mine came with 2.18 version, so it is time to update. So put the soldering iron into the DFU mode by holding the A button down and connecting it to the computer. The OLED display will show DFU:3.45. Now copy the hex file and paste it to the root directory, and once the hex extension changes to the RDY extension, the update is complete. Now we are able to get up to 450 degrees Celsius, which is 842 degrees Fahrenheit. So there you have it, guys, the Sequre SQ-001 mini soldering iron. Now, I think if I had to do it all over again, I would get this soldering iron, and it would probably be all I would ever need for both at home soldering and soldering out in the field. It is fast, heats up quick, and gets hot enough for everything that I can think of that I do, and it is also portable. It is the perfect soldering iron. So that'll do it for this video of the Sequre SQ-001 mini soldering iron. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time.